Shoot. What's up? What's up, everybody? We back with another episode, and we got a lot of hot topics we going over tonight. But first, let's start off with some introductions. Start us off, Friday.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? My name's Bob, aka Friday Mate, aka Mr. I'm right all the time. So, what's up with y'all?
Yeah, it's your boy Stack City from the Trek folk. I'm gonna say that for later. I ain't gonna say that right now.
Come on, let it out, Stack. Come on,
No,
bro.
I'm not. It's not the time or the place. It's not the time or the place. It's not the time or the place. But I come back. You know what I mean? Sometimes some things are about timing. You know what I mean? It's about timing. So the time ain't right now. But what it is though, you gonna know. I'm gonna reference this point right here. But anyway, it's your boy Stack City. I'm from Winston, Detroit, and undefeated. You know what I mean? Undefeated. That's all I'm gonna say.
Already. It's Steve Brown, man. I'm here. I'm ready to get it. I'm on this grill. Work with me, but it's all good. Let's rock out.
Let's do it, people. So, time to dig in. And our first topic of the day is, I know you guys just saw the all NBA teams were just released. And there was a little bit of controversy with a couple of those teams. So, Brown, go ahead and start us off with your biggest all NBA team snub.
The biggest snub. I got a couple snubs for y'all. A couple snubs that were on my list, like Laurie Markkinen. You know, he had a remarkable season. You know, man, I know anybody gonna say his name, but you know, that's my first guy that came to mind because I actually thought. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was going. I mean, I think he got most improved player, I want to say. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was like a shoe-in. And then you got, of course, AD, you got Ja, KD, you got Kawhi, and then you got Devin Booker, who showed out in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And so I come to the conclusion that, like, it's not about like what you did, it's about like how many games you played, because a lot of these guys they didn't necessarily put up the games that other guys did. I think KD played 47. I want to say AD played 52. You got Ja Morant. I mean, he played 61, but he had a lot of other stuff going on too. You know what I mean? And then you had Kawhi. I think he played like 52.
Still do.
Yeah. He said, yeah, Ja's a trip. He's a whole damn mood out here. It's crazy. And then Devin Booker, I think he played 53. So, I mean, it's I don't know. I felt like, you know, my biggest one though, you know, just to get back to the original question, the biggest one is probably AD. You know what I mean? Because AD played, like I said, he played 52. And that's right there, like on that borderline. You know, I think some of the other guys like may have played like I'm trying to think of how many Bron played, because I think it was right around that. I think Bron might have played about 50. I think it's 55, you know, for LeBron, and he made the team. And AD averaged like 26 and 12. You know what I mean? He was a monster out there. So I'm kind of thinking it's politics. And then when you look at that third team, this is my last point. When you look at that third team, just to bring my point home about like games played, I think De'Aaron Fox played like 70-something games. Julius Randle played like 77 games. Domantas Sabonis played like 79 games. You know what I mean? So they let them. I mean, you think about it. Domantas Sabonis over AD. Like, you know what I'm saying? Julius Randle over AD. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So it's all about your games played. It's, you know, it's the writers, you know, politics. That's the media. You know, that's just how I go.
Friday.
Well, two come to mind, and I guess it's based on how you know how they put the team together. Now we talking about the all NBA team. So to my knowledge, it's not based on position only, right? Like it got to be a center, got to be, you know, it got to be all five positions, right?
Yeah.
Because Jokic made second team and Embiid made first team, so I think it is off center.
Yeah, And I know that's the all NBA team.
Yep.
But they got 1-5. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Shea Gilgeous shouldn't have been on there, like especially over Jokic. And if we're doing it by position, which he's a guard, I would say Steph. Or if you specifically his position, I would have to go with Jaylen Brown, bro. He had a great year. Yeah, if we going by position, but I think the biggest snub is really Jokic if it's positionless, for sure, no doubt about it.
Okay. Definitely. Let me get back in real quick. Definitely Jokic. You know, if we're going by like team to team, I thought y'all was doing like all three teams. You know what I mean? That who didn't make any of the first, second, or third team. That's what I thought y'all was doing. But yeah, I agree that Jokic, like the first team, like he should have been on the first team probably.
They just released the All NBA team, and it was Luka, Giannis, Embiid, Shea Gilgeous, and Tatum.
Got you. Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Stack, any thoughts?
So you saying from your understanding is one position per team?
I'm wondering, is that the qualifications? You feel me?
Because the way they got it, it would seem like that fits based on how they came out.
Definitely.
With that being said, going under that, guys, that is the fact that it's point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center on each of the three teams. If that's like the criteria, even if it's not, but let's say that it is, and it's gonna seem like a cop-out answer, but I said this when the team first came out in our little group chat, and I'm gonna stand on it. I think they got it right. I don't got no problem with it. Prove me wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I think they got it right. Like, as far as the first team is concerned, we got Luka. Like, if we call in Luka the point guard on that team, I can live with that. I can rock with that. Like, Luka always, you know what I mean? He always does his thing. And this year was no different. If we call in Shea Gilgeous Alexander the two guard, he put up 31 a game. Like, and I feel like the All NBA teams, a lot of it is political anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Politics. So we gotta have somebody that we pushing forward, like out that next generation. We got a few young stars, but what's the next one that we're gonna push forward? Shea Gilgeous Alexander stepped up this year. You know what I mean? So if he's somebody we pushing forward, and he put up numbers that were really like that, putting up 31 a game for Oklahoma City Thunder, then I can't really argue with that. Then we got Tatum, we got Giannis, and we got Embiid. Embiid is the MVP. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I mean, I don't got no problem with him being the center over Jokic. He's the MVP. The MVP should be on the first team. And I understand that we knew what came out first, the MVP, or they came out about around the same time. The MVP
came out first,
second, third team. So that sound about right. He the MVP and he on the first team. Second team, my boy Steph Curry. Everybody know I'm a big Curry fan. Donovan Mitchell. I can't really argue with. I'm not gonna go name by name, but I can't argue with none of them. You know what I mean? Like, tell me somebody that didn't make these three teams that you feel like is a complete snub. You know what I mean? Over who did make it. Like, who should we take out? And even like if we talk about who made the third team that should be on the second, or who made the second team that should be on the first, I don't think it's no clear cuts. Like, oh man, they absolutely should have made it over this person. So if it's not clear cut, it's debatable. And if it's debatable, then I don't have no problem with it.
I agree with you there. The only, I feel like if with the All NBA teams, it definitely should be positionless. And to me, it appears that they're doing based off stats, but I feel like they should do it based off like the impact that they have on their teams. And with that being said, I think that the obvious out here, Julius Randle, and take him out for his teammate Jalen Brunson. You guys seen what Brunson did this year? The effect that he had on that team, the Knicks. They were legit an Eastern Conference contender, pretty much all year. I think they were right at hovering around 500 the first part of the year, and they turned it around. But maybe I would take out Dame. I maybe would take out Dame and add Markkanen. Because you look at what he did this year, even though Utah was, I think they won like 49, 50 games last year.
Yeah.
And they basically traded their whole team, their foundation, Spider and Gobert. And they got this guy in return, and he put up a career best season. He still got them. Everybody expected them to be a lottery team, 10 wins, 5 wins, whatever. But he got them to 37 wins and within a couple games making the playoff tournament. So Dame, if I had to take 2 out, it would be Dame and Randall for Brunson and Mark.
My only counterpoint, or my only, I guess, in addition to what you said, or my only counterpoint to what you said would be, like, if you didn't go off stats to a certain degree, like, quantifying impact is hard to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to quantify like the impact a player had on their team versus like, how do we know it was just that player's impact versus the chemistry overall that player had with the other players on their team?
Look at the wins.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many other little factors that could go into impact rather than just that player affected the team in this way.
I'm gonna say wins and losses. Like, look at the Knicks last year. Like, what, they didn't make the playoffs, and then this year I think they won 10 more games or something, and they got to the second round of the playoffs, and they have pretty much basically the same team. Granted, like, player progression, they got like Grom stepping up, and they also
all that goes into account. That's what I'm talking about. It's hard to say, like, just the addition of this player is what impacted the team to the degree it did.
He's a leader. He's a leader on the floor and off the floor. So I can't I can't say that I'm a Brunson fan, but like, looking at what he did this year, he deserves to be on at least one of the teams.
And you say you're taking out who though?
Julius Randle. And Dame had a great year, but man, like, for me, like, I like guys that play. Like, Dame is probably half the season, and like, you can't like quantify that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's rewarding him.
Dame is silenced because he's in Portland, man. He's one guy that I would say really got to get out, man.
For sure. he want to prove a point, man. He want to stay, man. So
you're trying to pull off that Giannis. It ain't gonna work though. Not in Portland. Not with him. Because he don't impact the game overall like Giannis can.
You saw the Mavs struggle without Brunson too. That's all the proof you need. The proof is in the pudding, man. All right, let's move on to topic number 2.
Cool.
All right, we got Bron and Curry. Who would you guys rather start a team with? And let's go with that.
So who would I start my team with?
Yeah.
Hands down, gotta be. I'm starting my team with Bron. I'm joking. It's Curry. It's Curry though. It's Curry.
Okay.
You talking about? Hold on. You talking about as of right now, not in their prime.
In their prime.
That changes the question.
Hold on. No. Hold on. What wasn't the original question? Who do you want to build your team around? Am I missing words or something?
Let's just say which one you want to build your team around. Like, prime, late career.
Okay. All right, we cool. My answer is cool. Okay, go ahead, Stack. My bad.
No, I mean, that's cool. I can argue that side too. But like, I think the whole thing started around this Bron versus Curry on this particular show with us started with like when you ask the question, who's currently the best player in the playoffs? And a couple of people said Bron. I said Curry. A couple of people said AD. That was like the genesis of this Bron versus Curry thing we got going on this show. But sure, I can argue this part of it too. I can argue this side of it too, though. So if I'm starting a team around either player, give me Curry. And the reason I'm going with Curry is because it's hard to like, do we have the benefit of being able to know what they ended up doing ahead of time? Like, do we have that benefit of knowing? Like, I know now what he did. Do I know that going into this question? as opposed to because the other way, if I don't know, I'm going with Bron, obviously.
Gotcha.
But if I know what he became, so can I know what he became? Is that okay?
Let's say hypothetically speaking, like first 3 years in the league, first 3-4 years in the league.
Oh, that changes the question even more. I'm really fighting uphill now. I gotta go with Bron. I'm doing that. I gotta go with Bron, man. This question ain't the same.
No, let's just go back to what we was talking about the other night. I mean, we don't need to even talk about who to build a team around. Let's just go Bron versus Curry.
There you go.
I'm with it.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, Bron versus Curry.
You want to put it in?
So and when we were talking about it the other night, like you were real, like you bothered by the fact that people put Curry on the same level with Bron, right? So I want to attack that angle from the standpoint of Bron done needed countless teams with countless Hall of Famers and countless All-Stars to attain the level he's gotten to, whereas Curry has needed one team with the same nucleus, the same coach. He did it with KD. He did it without KD. He got 2 with KD. He got 2 without KD. And like he did it without all the extra stuff that Bron had to do to go. He had to go to Miami. He couldn't do it in Cleveland by himself at first. Then he had to go to Miami to learn how to win. He had to learn. That was college for him. People were talking about Miami was college for him because he didn't go to college. And he had to learn how to win. Lost the first one, 1-2, and then lost another one. Then he had to come back to Cleveland, have Kyrie with him this time. Kyrie hit the big shot that got him a ring out there in Cleveland and brought it to the land. Not Bron. It was Kyrie that hit that big shot. It came through clutch. That was Mr. Clutch in that situation where they threw out Draymond Green in Game 5, gifted them that series when they were down 3-1. Come on, man. People don't talk about that enough. And then on top of that, like he had a bubble situation. And back in 2020, when the COVID was going on, we had a 4-month break. You know what I mean? 35-year-old Bron had a 4-month break to recover, recuperate, and come back refreshed in the bubble. Yeah, so I put a big asterisk beside that one. And then it remains to be seen.
Everybody else got 4 months too.
It's the difference when you Bron, you 35 years old, and you get that 4 months. But like I give him credit for what he did this year with the Lakers. As far as being able to knock out the Warriors and Curry and whatnot, but it remains to be seen if they're gonna win a ring. Right now, they're on the same level though. Like Bron is obviously the more impactful and better player in their primes because of the extra that he has that goes with him. He has the size, he has the strength, he has the athleticism, he has the cerebral ability. He can pass, he can score. Curry changed the game. We talked about him being a specialist. He was a specialist to such a degree that he changed the game. Plus, then he learned how to improve his ball handling, his playmaking, getting to the basket, being able to like make those around him better because of who he was as a player. He improved defensively. Not enough to be said for how much he's rose his overall stock and level as far as his legacy is concerned. So much so that I can sit here and make the point that he's on the same level legacy-wise with Bron when it comes to what they've done on the court.
It's tough to follow. Curry, he did change the game. Everybody wants to be like Curry now. You really don't hear anybody saying, "Oh, I want to be like Bron." And I think that's people that they don't really follow the game. They don't really follow the game, if that makes sense.
Bron is like a superhero that we know we can't be. But like people look at Curry and the way he became good and feel like they can do that. You know what I mean? Like nobody knows anybody with Bron's assets, like with Bron's attributes on the basketball. Nobody knows anybody that's 6'9", 270 that can do what Bron can do on the court. Everybody knows somebody that's 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", and can shoot. You know what I mean? Or at least try to, or at least that's a learnable skill. Being 6'9" is not a learnable skill. Being 6'9" and being a playmaker, the player that Bron is not a learnable skill. You know what I mean? Like just being a regular player and shooting good, that seems attainable. So that's why he changed the game. On down to the college level, on down to the high school level, on down to the middle school level. You go to a high school game now, kids are shooting. You know what I mean? They're shooting 2-3 feet behind the line, and that's why they're not trying to be Bron, because they can't be Bron. It's impossible. He's a folklore. He's like Paul Bunyan. You know what I mean? Like you can't be him. It's just it's one. He's one of
Bo Jackson, right?
Yeah. He's one.
Y'all ever heard the stories about Bo Jackson?
Yeah. But go ahead and tell him though. Go ahead and tell him if you want to.
Oh no, man. You got it.
I thought you was great. Tell it for the younger audience out there.
Spit. Yeah.
Oh well. Hey yo, Bo Jackson is that guy, man. He can do everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But no, man.
Blank period.
No, we want the people want to hear from Friday. Like that's the one. You was the one. Me and you was the one got into it about Bron and Curry. You know what I mean? So what Friday got to say?
You know, listen.
He was.
I have to start by giving credit to where credit is due, right? I think you misspoke when you said that the legacy is the same, but like the legacy that like Steph Curry
on court legacy, on court legacy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like what I'm saying, I think the legacy that Steph Curry is going to leave behind is greater than any amount of championships he could attain. I think that's going to surpass all the legacy that I was the individual player who changed the way modern basketball is played is a legacy that anybody would wish to attain in a career. But here's what I think, man, and I think people get caught up into this. Like Vaughn, your favorite player is like Kobe. A lot of people's favorite player is Jordan. A lot of people's favorite player is Steph Curry. And what I've come to realize in this assessment of who people's favorite is, people just like people who score. People just like scorers. People like people who people like to watch people who throw touchdowns. People like to, you know what I'm saying? They like to see scoring. That's as sports fans, I guess that's what we like to see. In my opinion, everybody loved Mike Tyson because he had knockouts. You know what I'm saying? But I think Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen because he don't get hit. And LeBron, you know what I'm saying? And to me, LeBron is the actual best basketball player to ever play the overall game of basketball, whether it be passing, whether it be rebounding, whether it be able to score whenever he wants to. I think Curry. I think you said something about the Hall of Famers that Bron had, right? So everyone knows that Draymond Green will most likely be a Hall of Famer. Also, Klay Thompson will be. Will he? KD is definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. And here's the thing about all of that, right? All of those guys, you know why they go into the Hall of Fame? Because they won 4 championships. Being in the Hall of Fame is synonymous to winning championships now. And I think that's whack, bro.
Is Robert Horry in the Hall of Fame?
But he never was a starter. He never was like the key guy on any of the teams he played on. He was some big shots. He was a big shot maker. He was a big shot maker, and he was a key contributor. But like when you talk about the Warriors, you talk about Steph, Klay, and Draymond. Those are the trinity of their team, and they gonna all go because Draymond is not special at all.
So here's my question: is Draymond a no doubt Hall of Famer?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I don't think so.
You got them rings.
Yeah, four-time NBA champion.
Defensive player of the year type, second team, stuff like that. Yeah, accolades.
He got it. His accolades is much higher than any regular player.
That's a different debate for a different day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say that he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he maybe get on there eventually.
But the point is, Steph's played with Hall of Famers too. Is my point overall.
Yeah.
And LeBron, See the difference between LeBron playing on the team with Hall of Famers and Steph playing on the team with Hall of Famers is that LeBron was always by far the best player. That's a Hall of Famer. He's the best player. When KD came, KD was the best player by far. Like Steph shrunk to be. He was like second and third fiddle a lot of times. You know, like it's like it kills my nerves that people think like when people don't when 4 championships. You talked about the one asterisk that LeBron got. Every one of Steph's got an asterisk to it. That's why I say in the beginning, his biggest legacy, like the fact that he changed the game, that is his legacy. Not the 4 championships, because he wasn't the best player on the team, but for 2 of those, and one of them, again, the first one, it was LeBron against the world. 5, it was 1-on-5. I've never seen anything more like 1-on-8, because they had Sean Livingston, they had everybody. They had
You've seen something like it. You've seen something like it.
No.
Yeah. When AI drugged that 76ers team to the finals.
Hey, I'm glad you said AI because it definitely wasn't Curry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? So you got the first one with 1-on-5 Bron. The second one, Bron won. They begged KD. I heard what they say, Draymond was crying, literally crying to ask LeBron to come beat LeBron. One guy. You know what I'm saying? So then they got there, they won. They should win. And then the next year, Kyrie left, went to the Celtics. It was Kevin Love never was the same Kevin Love from Minnesota ever since he been in Cleveland. So it was basically Bron against everybody again, like 2 years in a row. Like Bron has never had. This Lakers team this year is the best supporting cast LeBron has ever had, and he's played with Hall of Famers. But this is the best overall team he's had, and he's needed it because I will say, like, LeBron looks gassed in his age sometimes, but this is the best team Bron has ever had.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
That Heat team had Ray Allen, Mike Miller, and the Birdman coming off the bench.
Man,
those were like veterans, bro.
No.
You know what I mean? With Bosh and Wade and Mario Chalmers, like that was a squad.
They were older though.
Yeah,
older guys.
No.
It was
I would have said Chalmers or something first.
I said Chalmers though. Chalmers started. The other guys came off the bench. I'm saying they had those guys. They had those vets coming off the bench.
And Ray Allen was on his way out the door.
Ray Allen saved. He saved them. He won Bron a ring one year with that corner shot.
Yeah.
I mean, Iguodala saved Curry the first time.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Players get shots.
You know, so what I'm saying is, you can't say Bron, you can't say Bron because of those championships. Like those were more valid than his. Because one, like I said, he needed 3 different teams to do it. Two, I can't say
done it on 3 different teams. You can look at that 2 totally different ways. Nope, including Jordan has never won a championship every place he's been. If Curry did, Curry couldn't do that. Only you know what, Curry could do that because at this point, the only way that he'll win another championship is if he go to another team. Ever. He will never win another championship.
That remains to be seen. But I'm going to say the same thing about Bron, though. I'm going to say the same thing about Bron. That includes this year. That includes this year. Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing about Bron. So
what you have to say about that, Steve?
I might agree with that. I mean,
I'd take.
I would take.
Yeah,
look, who would y'all? Well, that might be the question we were searching for. Moving forward, who you think could stay on the team, could keep their same team and win a championship? Curry or Bron?
Popcorn.
That remains to be seen because I'm
gonna say LeBron. You go ahead. Go ahead, Stack.
If that's a direct question. From here on out, if you're trying to win a championship, and be it the fact Bron is on the Lakers, Curry is on the Warriors still. who would win a championship first? Would you stick with Bron or stick with Curry on that team?
Curry.
Who would have to move, Curry or Bron?
Oh well, if history is going to repeat itself, it's Bron. I'm gonna go with Curry. I'm gonna go with Curry, and the reason I go with Curry is because Curry got more left in the tank than Bron do. I think we can agree on that. Like he got more years ahead of him than Bron does, as far as being elite. Like Bron is already not looking like Bron way more than Curry, not looking like Curry as far as their prime is concerned. As far as their prime, like if Curry ain't still in his prime, he ain't too far off of it. Whereas Bron ain't the same, bro.
Yeah, I think the thing that helps Curry is like he don't use a lot of energy out there on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think he does. He just nobody moves more on offense than Curry.
Yeah, I think Curry uses a lot of energy, but I think Curry's game is more easier to fit in because look. All right, this is what I'll say about Curry. Elite Curry is a Curry that can shoot off the dribble, a lot that can create space with his penetrating, like his ability, right? That's going to go away. But when all of that goes away, guess what he gonna be? Still a great spot up shooter.
Yeah.
And that's why he can be a great second or third. He can be a great role player on another team as he ages. Whereas Bron is so ball dominant, like what he does well is score close to the basket. You know, it's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder to maintain that level of success for a long time. But he's been doing it though at the same time. I think Bron got two more in him.
It's gonna go away for Curry. It's gonna go away for Curry, but it's gonna go away at a slower rate than most NBA players. Just because he's 6'3", 195, it's less wear and tear. Like he's not carrying around 82 games and the playoffs as much wear and tear as other. You know what I mean? 6'6", 6'7", 6'8".
I don't think Curry is going to be able to run around. I don't think Curry is going to be able to shoot off the dribble and create space off the dribble for no longer than maybe another year. Everybody forget he like 34.
Yeah, 35. 35.
Yeah,
and he's got like a lot of wear and tear on his lower body too.
He got one more year to look like Barry Sanders as on the dribbling, and all of that shit's done, bro. Yeah. All of that is done.
As long as his ankles hold up,
and that's been a problem his whole career.
Yeah, but so that has nothing to do with the wear and tear. That right there. But I'm saying that's why I said as long as his ankles hold up, I say he got 3.
No, not playing the way he's playing right now. Not on this level. No.
All good points, fellas. All good points, but we got to keep it moving.
Just keep it moving.
All right. Most of the NBA season is over. A lot of teams have entered the off season. We've heard a couple rumors about some guys that may be on the way out. Starting with Dame, if you're the Blazers, would you guys keep him or trade him out? And start us off, Steve.
With Dame?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Portland is a long ways away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who is Portland's second best player? I'm trying to. Is it Simon? Yeah, like and they don't. Yeah. Sharp is. I think he was a rookie, so he's up and coming and stuff. He did ball though, but I think it might be Simons, and I feel like they play the same position.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like shop Dame, you know what I mean? See what you can get, like, you know, just kind of like start over, and also let Dame, like, who's been loyal to that franchise, like, give him a shot at a legitimate ring. You know what I mean? I don't even know if Dame would want to leave Portland, to be honest, but like, I definitely give him that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And like, just, you know, trade him. I would say trade. You say it's keep a trade, right?
Yeah, keep a trade.
I would say trade Dame. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Bob, who would you trade him or keep him?
Emotionally, I would say trade him because Dame is too good. Like we can't even figure out what position he should be in the all NBA team just because They don't get enough coverage. Like Dame is like the best player that nobody knows about. So trade him.
Step.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna keep it unanimous and go with trade him. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead and trade him. What you haven't accomplished, what you wanted to accomplish with him, he'll be 33 at the start of next season.
Ooh,
you know, like go ahead and get what you can get from him while you can get something from him now.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And let this man fly free. Like my man said, he been loyal to you this long and didn't have to, but he did. So cut him loose, start over, see what happens. But whatever's been going on that y'all been trying to do with him ain't been working out up to this point. Don't see it happening now. So might as well let him go. Trade him. Yep. See what you can get.
I agree. He's been with that franchise with like 13 years, somewhere around there.
Over here.
Hasn't made it past the West Finals. So, and at some point you gotta move on.
Has it been that long? That is crazy.
It's been a long time. It may not have been 13 years, but it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Crazy.
All right. You got one more and then
Weber State. But go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Karl Anthony Towns. You guys know they traded for Gobert in the offseason. And I think it's been a super awkward fit. Would you ship him out or run it back? And let's start with that.
I'm gonna run it back.
Run it back?
Yeah, it's been an awkward fit, but like I need another season to see, like, can we make the most of this? I know we got the two bigs, him and Gobert, but I'm gonna still try to run it back. Like the verdict is still out a little bit for me. You know, I don't know that we can't make it work, but like let's give it another shot and see. So run it back at least one more time, and then if nothing happened after that, you know, we can go from there.
Bob.
Man, I seen a TikTok clip or a short with Karl Anthony, and he was talking about how the NBA can't find other people like him. Like he was an elite player, and are we getting paid enough? He was talking about how much money they get paid. And I just thought to myself, I don't like him. And then I was like, what? Like, you don't know if you get paid enough? Like, have you ever worked a regular job, bro? You know that everyone typically works 365. But anyways, so and also, yeah, I don't think they've ever won with him. He's never done anything. Like, so yeah, no, I like because of his age, you would like to keep. I really would get rid of Gobert. I don't understand that trade in the beginning, but yeah, I think they should run it back one more year. But really, I think they need to blow the house up and ultimately start over with somebody.
Steve.
Agree. Blow it up. And I mean everything except for AE. That young king right there, Anthony Edwards. Like keep that guy, build around him. Trade Karl Anthony Towns, I feel like, just because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Gobert is going to be out there. He knows his role. He's going to play defense and stuff like that. Cat, I feel like he tries to be a one-on-one player. He'll stand out there at the three-point line and just jack sometimes. Like, I don't know. It's crazy to watch, you know. But Anthony Edwards, he could be a legit superstar. So I would say trade Karl Anthony Towns and try to build around AE.
I'm gonna have to agree. And just piggybacking off you, they need to trade him just to get some of what they gave away back. You know, they gave away like 4 first rounders for Gobert, and I think Cat is probably. I think everybody would agree that Cat is probably a better player overall, like offensive and defensive. He can impact the game a little bit more, so might be able to get a bigger haul for him. I don't necessarily think they'd be starting over with Edwards and Gobert as the linchpins of that franchise. Plus, you know, they still have, as of right now, they have Kyle Anderson. They have a couple guards. So I don't think they'd be starting over. Plus, I'm sure they'd get back a ton, like at least a superstar in return for Cat. So I would definitely say build off the momentum for Ant-Man and Gobert and ride the ship out Cat. So
I think the Lakers proved that you don't need like 2 and 3. I think the NBA, not even just the Lakers. I think the NBA has proved you don't need like 3 and 4 superstar players. There's only one ball at a time. So, like, if you got a scorer and you got somebody that can play defense and get boards, and you have other guys that can role play, I think that sometimes is more valuable than like 3 big names on one team. And I think that particular team is probably a good example of that. I think the Lakers have proved that, like, they got an inside guy with AD. They got an outside guy that can go inside with Bron and let everybody just play off them. So I think.
So do you think the Lakers have proved that even if the Lakers go down to the Nuggets?
Yeah, I think they proved that the role play, whether they win or lose, I think role playing, like even with, Denver too. I mean, we could go around the board. I mean, Denver got an inside guy, they got an outside guy, and everybody else is just role players.
It might be a good topic.
We also, go ahead.
Oh yeah, that might be a good topic. Has the big man made a return? Everybody was saying that the bigs are becoming extinct now, but you look around, like most of the team that's remaining, they have like a legit big man in the middle. So
I don't think they necessarily left. I think they just had to reshape their game. The big man ain't posting up no more.
I think that might be. Hey, after watching AD, man, look, he didn't went back to classic.
Jokic too. Yeah, Jokic can do everything.
Let me rephrase that. Not that he's not posting up, but he can do other. He can do way more stuff than they used to.
Yeah,
they're not exclusive.
Okay, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Back to the basket, not just that.
I think about all the bigs, like all the great bigs that Carolina has had over the years, and none of them are NBA quality players because, like Baycock will never play in the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
If he develop an outside shot, he might.
In 5 years.
Even if he developed a shot, it would be such a set shot that it would be like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be so slow.
Yeah.
All right. Good one. All right. Next topic, guys. As you know, the Sixers were closed out earlier today by the Celtics. So we got our conference finals matchup set, starting with the Lakers and the Nuggets on Tuesday. And then we got Boston and Miami. So who do you guys think is going to win these matchups and advance to the finals? And I guess I can start with myself. Yeah.
Shoot.
So I think in the East, I think that's going to be a great. Probably it might end up being the best series out of the two. It's gonna be fun to watch. A lot of defense being played. You got a couple superstars on both sides. You got Jimmy Butler with the Heat and Bam, and Celtics. You guys know what they have already. I think the Boston, they're gonna pull it out. They're gonna defeat them in 6 games. And over in the West, I'm gonna say that series is, even though I'm a Lakers fan and it pains me to say, Denver has like everything that we're weak against. Like, we suck against bigs. We aren't that great against guards. And those are a couple, and forwards too, and those are Denver's strengths. So I think they'll get us, and I'm gonna say they'll get us, and we're gonna go to 7. We're gonna take it to 7. All right, Bron, what you got?
All right, in the East, it might be a sweep. Boston legit might sweep the Miami Heat. Just straight like that. I say maybe 5. You know what I mean? Because Boston is like that. I still feel like the Heat need Tyler Hero back. If they get Tyler Hero back, I feel like they'll be, I feel like they may have a shot, because they're gonna need another one-on-one type of player. Bam is hit or miss. You know what I mean? He does his thing sometime, but he's not reliable. Very inconsistent. They need that reliable scorer. They're gonna need that against Boston. With the way Boston plays defense and the way they play offense, also, like, the Heat gonna need to step their game up. They're gonna need more than just Jimmy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, people have been stepping up and stuff like that. Struce been hitting shots. Struce actually been driving to the basket, which has been surprising to me. And a lot of them boys been playing like individual defense and stuff like that. But they're gonna need a lot more. In the West, I hear you talking about the Lakers and stuff like that, bro. Like, that's your squad, man. Rock with them, man. Like, I hear a lot of Laker fans like this post Kobe. You know what I mean? Like they don't really want to give like their heart to the Lakers, man. Like, this is the best squad y'all done had in a while, bro. Like they probably gonna win this chip out here. You know what I mean? They got pieces that fit. They actually got pieces that fit this year. You know what I mean? If AD stays healthy, I say they're gonna win that title. They're gonna beat the Nuggets. It may go 7 though, because Jokic, he's on another level. Like he makes players better. You know what I'm saying? That's the best player. Like, we go best player in the playoffs right now. That dude is unstoppable right now. Like, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, this last series, I mean, it was kind of, Aiden got hurt that last game. Aiden been banged up and stuff like that. Aiden, his heart ain't in Phoenix. You know what I mean? They need to go ahead and ship him out. That's a whole nother, topic for another day. But like, he really didn't have like a lot of people that he was going against. You know what I mean? Jokic, but he was, I mean, either way, man, like the way he affects the game, like you got like a 30-point, 17 rebounds, 17 assist game. Like, crazy. I mean, who does that, bro? Like, what is that? That's ridiculous. So he can handle all that stuff. But I feel like, they're going to put 80 on him. They're going to throw some bodies at him and stuff like that. And I feel like the Lakers got that star power. Bron ain't going to let them boys lose. You know what I'm saying? They're going to need Murray. They're going to need Murray to step up in that series, like, because he was hit or miss in that last series also. So I say the Lakers in 7 on that one, though. That's it.
What you got, Stack?
I think the NBA, like the business side of the NBA, they always want the matchups that's going to draw the most eyeballs. Like, so like it's going to bring in the most money, what they can market the best. And from this standpoint, you would say that would be the Lakers versus Celtics. And but I'm gonna start with the East. On the East side of things, and I'm not super confident, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway. I'm gonna go with Boston at 7. I'm gonna go with Boston at 7 against the Heat. Not very confident in saying that, so it wouldn't surprise me if it went the other way, because the Heat are just like their culture and the way they play as a team. They got an alpha. They got a second in command. They got a guy that can just take over when he needs to. Man, they got pieces. But the reason I'm going with Boston is because, like my man Brown said, I would feel a lot more confident going Heat if they had Hero. And they might still can pull it out. But I put my money on. I wouldn't put my money on either one. But I'm reluctant to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Boston at 7. And in the West, give me Denver.
Hey. That's 2 for the Nuggets.
Denver in 6. Yeah. Give me Denver in 6.
In 6.
Give me Denver in 6. And so the NBA is not going to be so fortunate to get LA versus Boston. The classic matchup from back in the day that you can, the two big market teams that you can always market. But they'll get a solid basketball series with Boston and Denver.
I agree. Finish us off, Bob.
Yeah. Well, it's always easy to start at the East because the East is the one that's, let's just call it what it is a little bit more boring. Everyone's not as invested because they don't have the superstars like the West do right now. But I'm gonna say, look, the Celtics are loaded from top to bottom. Like, they have everything, like defense, superstar scores, which everyone loves. If the Celtics play the way they're capable of playing, they can definitely sweep them because they can put too many different bodies on Jimmy Butler. They can put Smart on Butler. They can put Tatum on Butler. They can put Brown on Butler. That's just gonna weigh on him because they don't really got another ball handler, dominant ball handler. Kyle Lowry is old. Vincent is not. He just not that guy yet. So And yeah, I mean, yeah. So Tyler Hero not being there, even though it wouldn't make a difference if he was there or not for the win. But yeah, definitely the Celtics. I want to say in 5. I just don't. I don't see Miami being able to carry that load. Jimmy Butler can't carry that load that many nights. And the one that they'll win, it'll be the one game that the Celtics take off. So, but with the interesting one, the Lakers and Denver, like the thing with everybody, I think in their assessment in this, I'm gonna go Lakers first and foremost. I'll end the suspense right now, Lakers. But I think that the Lakers, this will be the series where Bron can't really, like, if he talking about filling games out, and like he can't do that this season. They gotta go ahead and put the pedal to the metal, and Bron gotta be his best self every game. He can't be old. He can't just say he can't lean on. He got to be aggressive attack style Bron if they're gonna win this series. Because and then AD, this is a defensive series for me for the Lakers. If the Lakers can play defense the way they're capable of playing defense, then they'll win. If they can play, because you going from Steph Curry to Murray, like that's a downgrade. So they can guard them on the perimeter. If he's truly the best defensive player in the league talent wise, he gonna have to prove it against Jokic. And if he does that, and LeBron hold up his end of the bargain, and they can, and Vando, he can throw bodies at him with Michael Porter and all of those guys, I think the Lakers can win in 6. But it gotta be a complete team effort. And I think the depth is gonna come in, and because both of them got real strong benches. But yeah, it's really gonna come down to defense. If the Lakers can play defense the way they're capable of playing, it'll be the Lakers. If not, Denver gonna run them out of there. If the Lakers play old and hurt and non-aggressive, definitely Denver. But I'm going Lakers. I don't know where did the moderator go.
I think his internet went out. Go ahead. Did Stat go already?
Yeah, I went already.
Okay. What's the next topic? Oh, go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the only reason I would say like Joker is a tricky guy to guard, because like even if AD is able to hold him, contain him scoring wise, he's a playmaker too. Like Joker is a playmaker too. So like you said, the Lakers really gonna have to they're gonna have to be 5 locked in, whatever that 5 is on the court, all locked in at the same time. Like whether it's somebody cutting to the basket and Joker hitting them, or whether it's Murray having one of his breakout games, or whether it's Joker himself scoring, or whether it's a role player like Aaron Gordon. You know what I mean? Like it'll be an interesting
rematch of the bubble, right?
The bubble, as far as what?
The rematch of the bubble. They go to the championship.
Oh, the teams to go to the championship.
Yeah, Denver and Lakers. It was Denver and Lakers, right?
Gotcha. Well, give me Denver this time.
Yeah, they're better team. They're better team.
So I think there was one more topic. If I'm not mistaken, it was a football topic, right?
I believe so.
Let me see. It looked like AFC North division prediction.
Gotcha. AFC North. And predicting winner. The winners or the winner?
Yeah, I think it said the division winner, yeah.
Who you got, Steve?
Man, in that North. All right, so we got the Bengals, we got the Browns, we got the Steelers, and we got the Ravens.
Right.
So, I mean, to win that division, the way he framed the question, I don't know if it was just like predictions about the AFC North, but I think it was the division winner. And if it's the division winner, it's going to be the Bengals. Bengals got too much. Yeah, they got too much. They got too much power on offense, and then their defense is getting better too. So I'm gonna say the Bengals with Jamar Chase. They bring back Mixon. Even if they don't bring back Mixon, you know what I'm saying? Like they can fill in somebody at the running back spot. And then of course they got T. Higgins. You got Burrow. Burrow is probably a top 5 quarterback. He's already got that playoff experience, already got like Super Bowl experience. You know what I mean? I mean, he didn't win it, but they got there. You know what I mean? That was like his second year in the league? You know what I'm saying? So like Burrow, he probably gonna take that division. Now Lamar coming back, it's gonna be pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying, to see what them boys do with a healthy Lamar. And Lamar got some weapons, and the Ravens been building too. You know what I mean? So I mean, we'll see what they can do. But I'm not. I feel like Pittsburgh is far away. I feel like Cleveland. I don't know. We'll see what D White got. He looked like he didn't look good. During his little stretch he played last year. So, I'm gonna roll with the Bengals on that.
Yeah.
Who you got? You got somebody different Friday?
No.
I think I got the Bengals too. Maybe a more intriguing question would be who's going to finish second, third, and fourth.
Well, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Ravens got a legit chance to be better than the Bengals, barring injury and things of that nature. But like, I just don't see. I think the thing is, I think what's the major difference for me is I think that the Ravens quarterback situation with Lamar, I don't think he can sustain greatness as long and as steady as Joe Burrow can, because he's more traditional in what he do. He ain't got to use his feet necessarily. He can rely on a running game. He got better big play receivers. He got all of those type of things that's working for him. And the Ravens just don't got that. I don't think Lamar Jackson can throw 3 touchdowns passes in a game for 10 weeks straight, whereas Burrow can easily throw 3 touchdowns a game, and they should easily be putting up 28 per game. The Bengals can. The Steelers, they trying to get the number 1 pick next year, so they building up their offensive line. That's what they do. They trying to build the foundation back up. Because Kenny Pickett is, no.
That's what I said. Yeah, same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, even if Deshaun Watson went back to Houston Texans form, he still don't got the supporting cast. I don't know. Damn, that's hard because he do got Chubbs back there.
The Chubbs? You got Cooper. They did get Elijah. They got Elijah. They tried to get him a couple pieces. You know what I mean?
People Jones.
Yeah, they could be a wild. If all things work right for them, they could really be a wild card. Mm-hmm. They could really be a wild card. But I think it's a foregone conclusion. Everybody knows that the Steelers are going to be the worst team in the league in the conference, in the division. Third place, I'm gonna still put the Browns up there. Second place, Ravens, and I gotta go with Bengals first. They gonna win.
Yeah, I think you made a great point when you said Burrow, his style of play is more sustainable over the long run compared to Lamar Jackson.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So I got the same order actually. I got the Bengals at number 1, Ravens at number 2, Cleveland number 3, Pittsburgh at the bottom. But at the same time, Deshaun Watson, that's a wild card.
It's a wild card.
Yeah, yes, it's a wild card. Mm-hmm. It's a wild card because top form Deshaun Watson, I would say the same thing. Like top form back to prime Deshaun Watson, style of play is a little more sustainable than Lamar Jackson. He's got a few weapons. He's got a few weapons with Cooper, Elijah Moore. If he comes back this year and has a real good season, realizes his potential. If he realizes his potential, and Peoples Jones as well as Chubbs in the backfield. We already talked about all this, but I'm just reiterating it. The key on offense is what Deshaun Watson gonna look like. You know what I mean? What is he gonna look like?
They could be a wild card, a huge wild card. Such a wild card that they could win the division. But just based off what we see, I think Burrow, I think people unfairly put Mahomes at this automatic GOAT. I think that Burrow is the same level of talent. Really, it just look a little bit different.
But I mean, at the same time, though, like I know we said, like Cleveland is the wild card, and they could challenge Cincinnati. But Baltimore is still a wild card too. Like you know what I mean? Like
a big wild card. I mean,
yeah. So I think that's why, like, the more you actually think about the question, you know, the more intriguing it becomes. As far as like, you know, if we get the peak of each of those teams, I think it's Cincinnati, and I think Cleveland and Baltimore. I don't know who comes out on top between those two.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best. If we get the peak of all three of those teams, it's the best division in football, hands down.
One of them, at least. I'm going to go for wild card here, and I'm going to say that the Bengals are going to miss the playoffs. That's my hot take. The Bengals are going to miss the playoffs this year, and they're going to finish like third or fourth in the division. They're not going to have like a horrible record, but everybody else is going to be improved. And I think the Ravens, they're going to finish in third and they're going to miss the playoffs. And I think the Steelers are going to finish in second.
Wow.
And, oh my, look at with the Travel Tower. Oh my goodness. And I think the Browns are going to win that division.
Wow.
And I think
they
have the best
Wow.
defense. They have the best defense in that division. They got Jared, and they have solid players on all three levels of their defense. They have a good offensive mind in Kevin Stefanski leading them. And they also have, and you guys, I mean, he might have missed some time, a year and like 12 games, D. Watt. Before he was out, before he missed his time, he was a top 5 quarterback. So that's my hot take. I think the Browns going to win it.
I see what you did with this question right here. You asked it knowing you was going to have this hot take. You know what I mean? Like, knowing you was going to have this hot take.
He was trying to troll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, where this question come from? But yeah, I see now. You know,
but you know, just like they're doing in these drafts and pre-draft, sometimes people try to be too smart for their own good. Sometimes it just is what it is. Like when you got a quarterback like Joe Burrow, like honestly, the common denominator is the quarterback play. Quarterback play. Like Joe Burrow's the best quarterback in the division with all of those quarterbacks at their peak, including
Kenny Pickett is the worst.
Who?
Pickett is the worst.
Oh, by far.
I feel like KP might be. Yeah.
Kenny Pickett is a glorified backup posing as a starter because they have no one else there.
What's your thoughts on Pickett, Von? What's your thoughts on Pickett? You said you picked the Steelers for second place in that division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's in his house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That part. Good.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on Pickett, Von?
She's a huge Steelers fan, but my thoughts, I would have to say that Pickett, I like Pickett. He has some momentum going into this year. And usually, you know, when those young guys have that momentum, and it carries on to the next season, man. And I think he's a good thrower of the ball. He's be better with his decision making, but I think he's going to take the leap, and he's going to finish as a let's say top 15 quarterback. I'm gonna say he's going to finish as a top 15 quarterback because he's got some weapons, man. He's got some weapons, and like if you guys look back in history, like all the Steelers quarterbacks in history, they are like, well, Ben Roethlisberger was there for like 20 years, but he's always been like a top 10 guy for the most part when he's not healthy or getting suspended for whatever. So there's a thing with those Steelers. You got Bradshaw and some other Cordell Stewart, I think. So there's a thing with those Pittsburgh QBs. They're there for the long haul, and I feel like Pickett is going to be a top 15 QB.
Top 15 based on what though? Exactly.
Let's say QBR, quarterback rating.
Rating. Okay. Mm-hmm. I got you. Because he was I mean, he was like, last year was his rookie year, and you know, it was a pretty bad situation. I feel like they need to invest more in that offensive line. Like Najee Harris. You say what?
They did. That was their
They
first.
did. They got Bama. They got the big Bama guy. What's my guy's name? I can't remember my guy's name. But yeah, they got a big guy there. They're gonna have to get that cohesiveness though. It's gonna take a little bit longer than like just a little off season. But they are putting the assets there. Najee gonna have to run a lot better to protect, you know what I'm saying, KP. Because like last year, I don't know. He did put together a little stretch at the end of the year.
He was running injured at the beginning of the season last year too, though.
Was he injured?
Yeah, the first half of the season he was playing through an injury.
Got you.
Something
With
his foot. I don't know if it was like plantar fasciitis or something with his foot. He was getting over.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, the sky's the limit. They say that for everybody, but he's not going to be a top anything quarterback. He's going to be the last rated quarterback in that division, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So he could be a top 15 QBR type of guy, but those other guys I'm saying are going to be better. You know, that's just my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good point. Like comparing him to the other quarterbacks in the division as well, too. How does he stack up? And he's the worst one, in my opinion, in the division. And maybe it has a lot to do with this is just his second year. You know, we don't know what his ceiling is, like how good he's going to be. But fact remains, you know, experience is not on his side. He does have a little bit of momentum, like Von said, but we're talking about Deshaun Watson. We're talking about a former MVP, and we're talking about Burrow. Like,
I mean, all things considered, I will say this: the Steelers have done everything that they can do to set him up to evaluate if he can be a quarterback for the future or not. I don't think they plan on being a successful team this year necessarily. I think they plan on. I think the Steelers' year is going to be based on evaluating is Kenny Pickett a guy they can move forward with, and so they already had the receiving quarter. They got an offensive line there. They do have a good defense. If all Von's hot take that they could be number 2. If they come out at number 2, Kenny Pickett will be the guy moving forward. If not, they're gonna be looking for Drake May or somebody.
Hey, let me ask you this, Friday. You being a Commanders fan.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to start based on what you know right now, if you had to start your team with one quarterback or the other, would it be Kenny Pickett or Sam Howell?
I would go with Sam Howell just based on the fact that I do know that Sam Howell, Sam Howell, because I've seen a little bit of Pickett and I've seen really nothing of Howell, but I do know that Howell, be it the fact that I'm a Carolina fan, I do know how highly rated Sam Howell was. He was actually supposed to be the number 1 pick coming out of last year's draft. His stock fell so much, you know. So he was like a top guy, but his stock fell. And you know, and there he is at 5. But you know, like I said, man, I said this on some like on TikTok or something I was talking about some Commander stuff with, and I was just like, at the end of the day, both situations are a win-win for me as a Commanders fan. If he's great, then great. We got a steal at quarterback in the 5th round, and we got something we can build from because the defense is gonna be there. If he's bad, then that's great too, because we get to really invest. We get to start next year with a new coach because Rivera will be fired, and then we get to have a quarterback that we're reaching for next year. Win-win for both ways.
Any final thoughts, Steve?
No. I'm good. I was gonna ask Bob, what y'all gonna do with? I guess I could ask Stack too. Both of y'all Commanders fans. What y'all gonna do with Chase?
I mean, I think he out there trying to earn his money. They basically out there like, you got to earn it. You ain't played enough for us to see enough, so you got to earn it. I don't think.
I see they didn't pick up his what was that, 5th year
option?
Yeah.
He got to earn it. It ain't no slight like we hate you, but he got to earn it.
If he
that
healthy,
was a high pick. It was a very high pick.
If he healthy and if he want to be there, he can and will. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So he can and will.
I'm gonna finish up the thought on with this last little tidbit. Last year, Kenny Pickett finished as the number 20 QB overall with quarterback rating, and he finished over the likes of Matthew Stafford, Kurt Cuzzo, Ryan Tannehill, Aaron Rodgers, Mac Jones, Russell Wilson, Davis Mills, Carson Wentz, and Baker. Just want to throw that out there.
Just for the record, this may be my Carolina bias and my Commanders bias, but I'm starting my franchise with Hal over Pickett also. Just for the record. You know what I mean? Give me Hal over Pickett.
I ain't seen enough from Hal, but I mean, you know, I have seen a lot from Pickett, and Pickett had, you know, he had 2 game-winning drives his last 2 games. I will give him that. That's the momentum Bron is talking about, I guess. But I mean, you know, I need to see more from Hal. That was an impressive performance. It was the last game though, so I want to see a little bit more. You know, TBD on that.
Would you take? I know I just had one like this, but would y'all take Purdy or Pickett?
Ooh. Purdy he had a lot of weapons over there. He had a nice system, a lot of weapons, but Purdy looked poised. Purdy was throwing a pretty ball. It was on time. It was all in the system and all that. But it was, I mean, Purdy was rocking out. So I don't know. I think I have to take Purdy at this point. You know what I mean? But I said, it's all about who's around.
I think you would have to take Purdy, but I will say that Purdy is vastly overrated right now. Like I think people have like completely forgot the fact that he played on the best defense. They put him in situations where he didn't have to do much. Like so for the fact that people thinking he like the next Tom Brady or something, he may be the next Tom Brady for San Francisco. If you put him on I don't know, any other team, he would be horrible.
But you got to think about how Tom Brady started off too. You know, he went into a good team, you know what I mean, a good situation and stuff like that, and I guess it built his confidence. It wasn't a good team like the 49ers, I don't think. I don't think it was a team like that, like defensively and offensively with the weapons and stuff like that. But it did kind of build his confidence and stuff like that. So, you know, he grew off that. You know what I mean? So I mean, he probably ain't gonna be no Brady. You know what I mean? But you know, that's the comp that's out there, and that's, you know, it's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, like he looked good throwing the ball last year, man.
Yeah,
he looked real good throwing that thing. So it remains to be seen. Hopefully he's healthy so they can have a true competition. I know they got 3 guys that they like.
You taking Pickett or Purdy, Bron?
Man, I'm gonna say, like, I'm all with Kyle Shanahan. Like, man, I ride the Kyle Shanahan train. Like, he's done it years and years, and you got to take the guy that's in the system, man. You got to take the guy that's in the system. He looked good throwing the ball. He got a little juice. He can run it a little bit, and he's on a better team. 49ers are a better team.
Real quick before we end real quick. What's y'all take on the Ja Morant situation?
Oh my God, this dude!
It's a whole show right here. We about to do a whole show.
Real quick, without a long like soliloquy that follows behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Ja's time is tough, man. Ja just came back, bro. Like, he did the whole apology tour, like Jalen Rose, Big Bro, all this stuff. Like, I mean, he did it again, bro.
It's hard. I think
there might be something wrong with him. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think it's hard to separate yourself from your surroundings, and obviously he's caught up in the elements around him. You know what I mean? And whether that's really who he is or really who he thinks he is in his head, you know what I mean? Either way, like, it's hard. Evidently it's hard for him to distance himself from those type of things. You know what I mean? Or we wouldn't be back here at the same place we was just a couple months ago. So like, he better get his act together. He gonna get a long leash because of the talent. You know what I mean? Because he sells tickets and he puts fans in the seats. But at the same time, if he crossed too much of a line, it's gonna be some conversations had in the back rooms on how much they willing to put up with. You know what I mean? So like, let's just say, man, like, I hope it works out for him and he can separate himself from whatever's going on that causes him to put himself in those positions over and over again. Because he's too great of a talent, too high of a ceiling, too much potential to be disappointment, to be a disappointment from stuff that happens off the court. Because not only is he a big influence of people's games on the court, you know what I mean, but also kids off the court as well. Like Ja, one of them dudes, you know what I mean, like the young kids is really looking too. You know what I mean? So if he down here flashing guns and doing things that would put a negative light on him, you know what I mean, it's gonna have a trickle down effect. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes, man.
I'm gonna say I think he's done in Memphis. I think he's done. Like, if you notice, as soon as like word leaked out that he did that again, like, they didn't even waste no time. They was like, he's like cut him off from all activities. He ain't participate. He ain't coming into the building. Like, that's a sign right there that they over it, man. They got a very capable backup in Tyus Jones, and they just signed to an extension with like last year. So get him out, man. Get him out. Like, you can't.
Are you saying you would get him out? Or are you saying they think?
If I'm the Grizzlies, and I'm going to say that they're going to ship him out. Like, he won't be playing for the Grizzlies next year if he's even playing for anybody.
If I'm in control of the Grizzlies, the difference between it happening, neither is justifiable. Like none of it is justifiable. But the first time it happened, it was mid-season, and he's trying to get back, right? So he can participate in the playoffs. So did he really do what he was supposed to do in order to change, you know what I mean, like his whole perception of where he was at? Right now, you got the whole off season to work on that. Like you got the whole off season to work on that, and then let's see where we are again at the start of next season. But like, this is strike two, though, right? This is strike two.
He got a whole apology to it. He can do the whole summer to kind of
so
get back his image. The thing I think about Ja in this particular situation is like, damn, man, it must be hard to live in Memphis. Like, maybe it's a Memphis thing. Like, you just gotta have a pistol in Memphis. Like, it's just a thing that you just gotta have. But
crazy.
But moving past that, and then I think, man, damn, like the first and second pick can't stay on the court for one or two reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like Zion can't stay there, and neither can Ja. But overall, man, I do think that first of all, to me, in my honest opinion, I don't think that the mistake is so egregious that he can't like rebound from it. But I do think that maybe a location change might be best for him because he may need to be separated from a certain environment, or be in an environment to where even if he bring the people with them, they realize that lifestyle or that type of energy is not reciprocated in every city that you go to in America. Like Memphis is definitely a southern place. Is driven a lot by the music there. Is very cultured in a lot of things that are synonymous with crime. So so that might not be the best city for him to grow as a man at.
Tennessee, you're right. Yeah. I feel you on that. I'm hoping that he can get it together, man, but it's looking rough at this moment, and they don't have like leadership on that team to deal with it. Like, it's that, like, you got, like, you see what they said about Dylan Brooks, like, you know what I'm saying, like right as the offseason, right after they got knocked out, it was like Dylan Brooks was like, they're not even gonna pursue him. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, just go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like they may be trying to change culture with that team, but it's really no leadership. Like, your best players are like Jaren Jackson. They're all young players. You know what I mean? Like Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson, different stuff like that. So like, I don't know, man. It might be time to get him out of there.
That's why I say, like, if you're really invested in Ja Morant, the player, like and Ja Morant, the person, I think you give him another shot, bro. Like, and you use this whole off season to your advantage, whatever that may be. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. The easy thing to do is to dump them off and let them be somebody else's problem. But if you're like, and if you're only invested in Ja Morant, the player, and only invested in your bottom line, because you get rid of him, you're gonna get rid of like that's gonna affect a lot of things. Like, that's gonna affect the ticket sales, the economy. You know what I mean? So if it's only a business move, you keep them. If it's only like an image thing, and you get rid of them. But if you invested in the player and the person, I think you keep them on a short leash, though. Like, you know what I mean? See what you can do with them this off season, go into next season. But the next little mistake, and then like, I don't think anybody could fault Memphis for keeping them on a short leash. But at the same time, you know, if they got rid of him, I couldn't fault him too much for getting rid of him, because he made his bed, he got a lie in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he did.
Like, you made your bed, you got a lie in it.
I don't think that they should get rid of him. I'm just saying I think that the place might not be the best for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even though I don't think that this incident is worth for him losing his career over, or definitely he's not gonna lose his career because like you said, he's too talented. But whether it be in Memphis, I do think Memphis could get a huge haul for him.
Definitely.
Huge. And if they think, and I do agree with what you said, Steve, they don't have any leadership on their team. So like, they could be in a space to where they've been great without him. They've been really good without him. So that if they were to get another, like if they could get like 3 role players, a couple of high draft top 5 lottery pick guys for him, that might be worth it to them. So, but yeah, man, overall, man, I just think he a young boy that needs to just grow. I don't think anything he did is something that's like so crazy that he can't like rebound his life from it. But I do think that he needs to grow as an adult, and I think being in Memphis, because it's so synonymous to like music that, you know, where people do senseless things and senseless type of crimes. He may not need to be in that environment because, you know, the players are close with the rappers. They're close with the, you know, all of that. I think that's what he really is attracted to and he's drawn to. And I think he's trying to like be like he's trying to keep up with the Joneses overall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and,
that's a great point. Enough. That's a great point. Send them to Miami. Let them get a part of the Heat culture.
I was just gonna say real quick. I was speaking from the organization standpoint. From Josh's standpoint, like, I think it would serve him best to be somewhere else.
Yeah,
like from the Ja Morant standpoint,
serve
him best to be in a different city, a different location, a different environment under some leadership, like y'all saying.
Yeah, and no, Miami is not it. He need to be somewhere like Denver or like
like the Heat culture is a thing. The Heat culture is a thing. Like, that's the thing. I feel like that's the best place for him.
Bro, that's inside of them 4 walls, boy. When you get outside, bro, Miami,
you can't send somebody like James Harden down there. You know what I mean? Like, I bet that culture ain't gonna mean nothing without them clubs down there. You know what I mean? So that's just, you know, and that's where he's posting these guns at, in the club, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's tough, man.
I just got one thing to say.
What it look like?
It's a party in my city.
I don't think that's what they said either, Bob.
Right.
You can tell you don't listen to rap music.
No, that's what
3-6.
he said. That's what Josh said.
He said, "It's a party in my city, yay!"
Yeah.
God, you sound so old.
I'm out of touch, man. I'm out of touch. But yeah, no disrespect. Yeah. He noticed he didn't start doing all this until he signed that contract last year, man. He just signed that rookie max last year. 5 years, like $190 million, and that's when you started seeing all this stuff take place, man. All this stuff. So, just saying, man, like he's definitely he's out at least half the season next year. Like, he probably gonna miss the whole season.
You got a little bit of this going on, like on every level. I mean, you got not to a much more severe degree. You got the Brandon Miller situation with Alabama on the college level. And then on the high school level, I don't know if y'all follow high school at all. You got Michael Williams, his situation. You know what I mean, on the high school level. So man, I don't know, man. These star players on each level of basketball, you know what I mean, they for whatever reason they choosing to make the wrong decisions.
With the pros, man, they held to a different standard though, man. Like I'm all for like being a role model for the next generation and setting a good example. And Ja ain't it, man. Like he got caught not once but twice with a gun, man. Twice. Even though like
crazy.
It's not illegal not to have one.
It's unbelievable, man.
Crazy,
it's unbelievable.
Man, I'm gonna say one last thing on this topic and I'll be done. And I just think it's one thing about the NBA and the NFL that's so different. And like the NFL and the reason that the NBA have problems like this on a consistent basis is because the NBA is such a player-driven league. It's so player-driven, and the players know it. So, like, the players are the brand in basketball, whereas in the NFL, the team is the brand. Ain't nothing bigger than the shield. Nothing.
That's real.
No player. You know what I'm saying? So, if this was the NFL, Ja would be begging to get. The first time would have been enough because he wouldn't have been able to move no more. You know what I'm saying? In the NBA, everything is so driven around players, and I think that give players a heightened sense of like entitlement. And so when things like that happen in the NBA, it's not, the players don't take it as seriously because they know that they're the brand.
I agree. Any other thoughts, guys?
I'm good on my end.
Yeah, I'm good. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Well, you guys, great show, man. Like everybody, that was good. I appreciate all you guys' thoughts and looking forward to next week, man. We're gonna run it back. It's gonna be every Sunday thing. So, you know, you guys in the chat, appreciate you guys tuning in. And
hey, Bron,
what's up?
I know I really only like debated on one topic, that was Curry versus Bron.
Mm-hmm.
But am I still undefeated, bro?
Oh no, you lost.
He said he had some heat, man. He had some heat.
You lost that one. You lost that one. Yeah, but we could definitely like get like a heavy debate thing going on for sure.
Gotta get the topic. We get the topics right. We can definitely do something.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Hey, just drop it in the chat, man. Let's see what we can do, man.
Hey, man, we ought to get like at least one or two heavy debate topics per show. Yeah, and like figure out some type of way that the fans can vote on a winner in the comments or something like that.
Okay, I think I can.
Like around the horn.
Yeah.
Except having the fans vote. You know what I mean? Around the horn, the host vote.
Oh yeah, with the point system, I can play with it some more and see what I can come up with. But yeah, we can definitely do that, man. This is cool, man. This is like a great outlet to be able to talk sports, and you know what I'm saying. It's good, man. It's good. So but yeah, man. Appreciate you guys joining. I know people got stuff y'all got to do, and
hey, listen, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, if no other thoughts, catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah. See you next week, man.
Y'all be good.
Yep.
All right.